Hits and Crits. This video is brought to you by Asmodee.
What's up, Hits and Crits family? Welcome to a patch video of Season 7. And oh my, how long has it been? Toby, how long has it been that we have something on our hands to talk about, to see a patch, to see units change, to see NCUs change, now with the new process of having several patches throughout a year? We're already excited for the summer patch to see whatever cards, commanders, attachments, whatever. But great to have you, Toby, as my co-host to go through Season 7.
Good to be here. Looking forward.
Yeah. So, a little disclaimer, we will go through most of what has been changed, but we do not want to spoil everything away from all the faction videos that will come out soon on our channel as well, where we will deep dive into the faction changes, where we will show lists that you can build, where we dive deep into several attachments that you could put into changed units or play styles. Exactly. You will see. So we won't won't discuss each and everything in detail, but we will show overall themes. We will show overall impression, overall things we feel right now about the Season 7 patch. We got some time ago. And second disclaimer is there were some last minute changes. So some things you have seen in the last week on the teasers, they changed last minute. So I booked this under constant development and to just develop the best game possible. That's what I do, but we will take a look at these changes as well. So let's jump right into units. So here we are. We kick things off with things that got fully or most of it from the playtest files. So here we see the Starks, and let me kick it off with a Stark Bowman. I highly appreciate that the Stark Bowman got a good buff as a 6-point long-range unit. They still ignore terrain and in determining line of sight. They got precision, but now they gained the suppressive volley. So the suppressive volley basically says the unit instantly becomes vulnerable when they hit them, and until the end of the turn they cannot be targeted by friendly orders or tactics cards. And this makes this unit a very good tech piece for the Starks, specifically because they want, at a certain point, they want to charge in, they want to do right, they want to deal out their full damage potential and want to like stack cards on top of it. So that's what they want. So Stark Bowman now, good tech piece for 6 points, I feel. Yeah. So
absolutely,
that's my take on the Bowman. And maybe last sentence on it. What I also highly appreciate is when you played Starks in season 6 or against Starks in season 6, what mostly happened was they took the Golden Company crossbowman. Always. On each and every Stark table was the Golden Company crossbowman. And I totally get it, right? I totally get why. But I really like each and every faction having something in long range or calf or whatever that they can use, where they do not feel bad about, where they're saying, I want to play in faction, but I can't because it's too bad. I feel now the Stark Bowmen are behind. Leave that behind. They're good enough to play now as a long range unit. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. Nothing to add, I would say.
Nothing to add. Yeah. Then kick me with the Mormon She-Bears, man.
Yeah, also I think nice changes. Also maybe is nicely fitting now in this support style scheme from the bowman. We have now an inverse war cry with She-Bear's Fury. So not the unit itself is doing a morale test, but the enemy unit with -1 for each remaining rank in this unit, and on a failure they become panicked and vulnerable. So we are kind of back to the old war cry, but again, it's kind of inverse, right?
Yeah.
And this nicely synergizes then with the next ability, Resolute Strikes, because this allows you now to restore wounds or remove tokens in principle. And so I think nice thing here, nice support piece to generate token, to heal. And I think we will see this a lot of times now. We are talking here about a 6-point unit hitting on a 3+. Yeah, and this is something which we see throughout the patch. In principle, almost all units, 6 points. There are some exceptions, hitting now on a 3+.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have crit blow, but I think overall really cool support unit. Nice abilities and really good.
Yeah, for me, still a great place for Recon Osha, and probably the survivalist. I can imagine this unit moving up the middle, right up to stakes, having Recon and Osha in there.
Yeah, something like that.
Right, bringing Shaggy Dog along, and they can just deal right. They just deal and remove, heal everyone, right? Heal a Tully Calf.
Yeah.
Up and stuff like that. So that's a thing I see. Still a great bunker for Recon. So let's go to the Outriders. The Outriders now, the 6-point cavalry unit within the Stark roster. They have a 7. They have an 8. Obviously, everyone knows. But now they also have their 6 unit. Their 6 cav back, I feel, and Scout Terrain fuels basically the same thing what I just said about the Stark Bowman, because Stark want to go, they just want to charge, they want to go in without any penalty, without anything holding them back. That's what the guys are for. And also they are really fast, they can go around the flank, they can wait for the right moment. But what's the most exciting thing I feel, and what's really good for the Starks as well, because you have it all in your hand. You can do the Vicious, you can do the Sundering, you can do the Devastating Impact, and you need it. This unit comes now hitting on 3s with 7/5, and that's really good for such a fast unit that can also support you, and at the right moment they go in and they can really do something. I like that. I really like that this 6-point calf is now in the Stark roster. I really appreciate it. And if you think Brinton Tully and stuff, it gets even better. So, I like it. I just like it. Cool. So that's on the Starks. So let's go to the Lannister side of things. Lannisters, Toby, tell me about the Lannisport City Watch. A unit never played in Season 6. What about now?
Yeah. I'm not decided about that, but I think so. What they gained is Sentinel, and there are also some changes to Watchful Eye, so overall tech profile keeps the same. Now with Sentinel allows you to move, to maneuver right after an attack, so you gain mobility. And now in combination with Lannisport Spears and Watchful Eyes, whenever an enemy unit activates, you spend out a token. So I think this is something which can be used as a token generator. I mean, they are not that beefy or have high armor. Maybe you have to put in here a good healing attachment, like Barristan or something like that. But I'm unsure if this is like a concept which Lannister really needs here, token generator unit in principle. Because you also have NCUs like Qyburn or Pycelle. We see later, which can fulfill this role. So I'm not really. I'm not certain if this definitely finds play.
Yeah. That being said, I totally feel the watchful eye and the sentinel to move somewhere and deal out. But I am pretty decided on the Lannister City Watch, and the reason why is, and we will see that later, because there will be now other units which you will take over them. But we'll come to that later. That's my decision. But actually, one of those units is the Guardsmen. The Guardsmen, they kept Lannister supremacy. So basically doing the same what they did, but let's take a look at like right there. 5-point movement. So now they move up pretty quickly. Got an enhanced attack profile, which is not the most important, but the Lannister steel aspect is very important, right? So if this unit has an equal or greater number of remaining ranks than the defender, target the defender, it becomes panicked, and this attack gains +1 to hit. So, right? So they deal out the panic. They hit on 3s with 7 dice. And after that, with the 3 armor, they're just saying, you know, man, if you have no vicious, just hit me. Just hit me, because I have a 3 armor. I have Lannister supremacy, and you got a panic token. So putting stuff in like Barristan, maybe
Jamie,
whatever.
maybe
Jamie, all kinds of things. You can put so many great things in this unit. Tyrion is a great pick. So if you put stuff like this in, this unit becomes really, really Lannister fitting and hard to come by. So this is.
And we're talking about 5 points.
5 points.
It's a 5-point unit.
Yeah. So this is actually why I'm not that fond of Lannister City Watch, but that's how it is. Okay. Let's go to Barras. So the Baratheons, and that's really interesting. Maybe you talk me through the Stag Knights first, because actually, and let me tell you this, it's not only it's something that we have also seen in the CBA, right? In the community balance adjustments from Mickey and Leon and Alex and that's really funny. But I'm really glad that this is the outcome now. So guide me through the Stag Knights.
That was a good North Star. So I think most important thing for Stag Knights, they gain here +1 morale. They are now at 5. I think this was their biggest weakness, in terms of stats. This is now gone. So still 2+, 4 movement, attack profile 6/5 on 3+. And in addition, they also changed the Champion's Wrath, and also the Punish Cowardice is also new and different. So let's maybe first go through the Champion's Wrath. So the Stag Knights now have critical blow.
You mean the Champions of the Stag? You
all
mean the
time. The Champions of the Stag, they always have crit blow now. So
I was talking about Stag Knights, but just continue with the Champions of the Stag. It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry. And before rolling attack dice, if the unit began the turn to engage, target the defender, it becomes vulnerable, and this attack rolls +2 attack dice. So we going here up to 8. 8 on 3s with a vulnerable, crit blow, quite nice. And Barras also have some possibilities in their base deck here to add, for example, now via commander cards, Thundering and stuff like that. Really cool change. And then the Punish Cowardice, I think this is also really interesting and cool. So if an engaged enemy tries now to retreat and completes the retreat action, after that it gets targeted and becomes vulnerable and weakened. So I think you have here a nice mechanic to keep enemies engaged. Otherwise they are punished. You have 2 armor, so nothing will happen. So to you. Very good unit now. Very good unit. Very hard to come by. Also, it's I like it. As you said, that was the only Achilles heel. The Sentinel, the in-house attachment will suit them really well. Also, the Glory Seeker makes them even more
I don't want this.
Go to 4.
So you can just push them through the middle. So yeah, I really like the unit now as it is. And it's totally fair to have them 4. The 4 movement is also fair. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the
now Stag Knights.
Now Stag Knights. So that what we've seen in CBA, and I really like that happening. So the Stag Knights got their 7/7/7 back. That's always the one thing that they made them unique, and now they got it back. Yep. So they lost the resilience, but they gained the Stag's Medal. Basically saying after round 4, you get 3 armor, and you get 4 morale. So that's good, right? And I think round 4 is also chosen really well. I think this is the point where they need it. And also the Stag's Fury changed a little bit. So now still they but now they choose. It's not the game round anymore, but now they choose. For each game round beyond the first, you can choose one and additional. For each above, you can choose between crit blow, vicious, sundering, and if the unit began the turn engaged, this attack deals +1 to hit for each of this unit's remaining ranks. So potentially 2, right? Because 1 is always a miss. But they can choose whatever they need. They can go to, I need crit blow now, I need sundering now, I need vicious, I need everything. So they can just choose, and that's good, right? Depending on the game round. So I like what I've seen, and it's proven good in well balanced in CBA. It's been proven in the playtest. So I think each and everyone is likes that change. All right, man. Halberdiers. Give me halberdiers.
Give me halberdiers. Yeah, so in principle, what changed here, they gained an order. Yeah, so they have a new order now, advance the line, which helps their movement. Yeah, so this allows start of the round. It's a interesting trigger, in my opinion, but still, it's nice because target a friendly unit in long range. It performs a 2-inch shift directly forward. Yeah, and I mean combined now with their 4-inch movement of the halberdiers, I mean they can shift or move 10 in principle, and I think it gives them just the small extra to be at the right time at an objective or wherever they have to be. Yeah, so I think a good change to improve their movement. Which is typically often a problem for Baratheon. They are slow, but heavy armored. And here you have just another tool to improve this. I think it's a nice, cherry, on top. And,
exactly. It's for me also still one of the best 6-point units where you can put stuff in like Renly, and then you have and I will move that quickly. And you have your Thornwatch with Brienne, right? Thornwatch soon. But this is just a great unit for just 6 points to put your like for your bunker, for your commander. Great unit. Really like it. Especially with the sundering. 7/7 on 3 with sundering. Yes. Again, you do not want to go in there, right? At least, well, maybe if you're a giant or something, then you do. But general, it's not a nice unit to go into. Okay, so Thornwatch, one of the most anticipated, most discussed stuff we've seen in the last week in the teasers, especially because it came out with a 6 points, which was an error. They are on 7. Michael confirmed this instantly, that these guys are on 7, and I think they should be 7, right? To say the least. So these guys come now with precision and sundering. So no rerolls anymore. They hit on 3s, 7/7/4. So a strong, per se, in general, a really strong long-range unit for the Baratheons. Back to the start comment. Really like that. They gain an in-house long-range faction, which is awesome. But now to the two things I'm not really certain about. I feel it's probably needed in the overall patch. And I still can't I still can pull back from seeing this unit and just thinking it's really strong because of the skirmisher and the Overwatch. Is if it has only one of those, I would say, yeah, fine. But with both, I feel like, these guys, they just change facing. Overwatch, potentially Brienne in there. They can shoot so often. They can, right? And if the battle is not happening there, they just go there, right? It goes. So, well, let's see. For me, I appreciate that you have an in-house long-range unit now. I think time has to tell.
A very good one.
A very good one. I think time has to tell if this needs to be brought down. But again, when you see the full patch with some units increase defense and all that kind of stuff, that might be totally fine. But I'm not 100% sure. But let's see. In the end, for me, now I can, bring in-house factions, in-house faction long-range units. All right?
Yeah, you will see this unit definitely.
Definitely.
So,
maybe twice, right? And
maybe 2 or 3.
Maybe
no, not 3. But,
3 long-range units, that would be it. All right, so we already mentioned it. Giants are not afraid of the 3 armor. Why? Because they got better. I mean, they weren't really before, but now they're better. And the Giants are different now. So you have 2-2. So you have 2 named ones for 9 points, and you have 2 ones, non-named ones, for 7 points. So basically, they got really standardized. So all of them have 8 wounds. All of them only suffer the one wound from failing panic tests. They still have the 2 unblocked hits to deal 1 wound. So basically 16, right?
16 hits. Yeah.
16 hits. They also got some, or Mag got a little bit tankier, or a little bit, quite tankier, right? He has now 3 defense and 3 morale, so both went down. That being said, it's a 9-point unit, and a 9-point unit has to do something. A 9-point unit has to shine on the battlefield. Each and everyone knows that, so I'm fine with that. But it looks big, right? And he comes with 8 dice on 3 on this 1 rank. He only has 1 rank, so none, Toby, none of your Dune tactics and stuff, right? It's all gone, right? So you just so 8
and
dice.
no defense dice. Yeah,
and no defense dice. So
yes.
So he goes in with 8, and also if he dies, he does another one with 8 on 3. Right? So he will probably take something with him. Wound One, on the other hand, 1 dice less. He basically stays the same on the defense. But what is really important here is roll +1 attack die for each wound Wound One has suffered to a maximum of 3. This is basically what we have seen before on the Savage Giant. Now it moved to Wound One for 9 points. But what is the thing? What makes him really 9 points? I feel is the last sentence. After this attack has been completed, Wound Wound may restore 1 wound. And let's see. I think what I want to say is, I think now it's exciting to build a 4 giant list plus NCUs, to build it, to play it. And it's good to have it. And the 9 points are also like a big invest, right? You have like 9, 9, 7, 7, something, or whatever you put together. It needs to shine. So both, but I'm a little bit afraid of that you move into a meta, or at least a certain part of the meta where it becomes rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. Because if you bring this and I do not bring this, I will lose. If you bring this and I bring Scorpion, double great axes, that kind of thing, you will probably lose. So that's the only thing I'm afraid of when I see stuff like that happening. But that's my take on Wound Wound and Mac. Tell me about the Savage Giant. Also, better.
Quite nice, quite good. Yeah, just better in principle. So we have the giant rule, which is also there, like for every giant, 8 wounds, only 1 wound from failing penning tests. I mean, this is a good, nice package now. And the mighty swing. So defenders again do not roll defense dice. I have critical blow. I have vicious. And rolls +1 attack die for each of the defender's remaining ranks. Meaning, if I attack an infantry unit, I have 7 dice on 3s with critical blow and vicious. And I think this is quite very good. And of course, I mean, depending on the dice, this means it can happen that I kill a one-shot infantry unit. Yeah, so it's really, really good. It's really good in my opinion.
Yeah, it's 7
nice
dice plus well, it could be 10, right? 10.
Yeah.
10. Not one shot, but he can do 7 plus the vicious penning test.
I mean, for one shot you have to be very, very lucky, don't get me wrong, but I'm with you. I think something like 9-10 wounds is realistic. Including a failed penning test due to vicious. I mean, this is very probable.
Yeah, and now he does it instantly, right? Like back in in season 6, he did it over time, and he could become really dangerous in the end game. Now he basically comes and is like really brutal right off the bat. So again, let's see about those giant lists. I'm already painting them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Max deck is maybe not the best. I also have all the giants painted here. True. But I think this is something you have to take into account, and you play then probably the 7 activations. So, but let's see. I think, but these are some drawbacks. But in my opinion, like having like always 8 wounds on the giant with these rules, I mean, you have a lot of meat on the table. Yeah.
My take when I saw them, when I thought about it for a few days, my take was they are perfectly fine if they had 6 wounds still. That's what my feeling told me. If they had 6 wounds now, and the better morale and the better attack profile and all that. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Who am I to judge? It's just from what I've seen in the last years and years of playing. It's what I felt that it should be like this. But maybe one last sentence on the giant spear thrower. That's also a thing which gets me a little bit to this point where I'm like, we already seen this list happening, right? Bringing whatever, like three giant spear throwers, and you just roll, right? It's just casino, and I mean, it's fine. I don't want to judge people playing that. I'm just saying you roll the die, and then you come to the point either you lose or either you win. And this is something I do not really appreciate in the game of Song. In particularly, I totally get that people are playing that, and in the end, if everyone has fun, I'm down. I'm down with it, but that's the thing I do not want to see. At least competitively, therefore, I don't want to see it, right?
And what we will see later, a War Machine change for the Stone Thrower, what I liked. Like they removed this unlimited range stuff, but the giant still has it. Yeah, I think this would be a good change also for a Spear Thrower giant.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have this unlimited range stuff where you can
something needs to be in one range
and roll dice.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe
I mean, this is, as you said.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's different, but yeah, point taken. Point taken. Yeah, but that's basically on, at least one portion of the monsters. And now Toby will tell you everything he knows about elephants. Biology lesson. I know.
So the one is...
I know it's not your field of expertise because you're like numbers and numbers cruncher and stuff, but now you do biology. Elephants.
I do biology. Elephants. We have some changes for the elephants, as you can see. So we have 8 wounds now. Attack profile is also changing. We have confirmed for both 6 points. Yeah, so
both 6 points
and 5 movement, and now what is very interesting, I think one cool change. So once during the activation of the elephant, he can shift forward 5 inch.
5 inch.
So this is something which is I think it's not a free maneuver, of course. However, this will help to close the gap. To bring the elephant or the mammoth in to charge. I think really good, really good change. And then both mammoth ignore during charging all terrain penalties. The mammoth as well as the Golden Company war elephant, which is also nice, I would say. So also cool change. So I think the chances are high to get them in. And then for the attack, both cases, no defense roll. And here it's a little bit, there's a difference between mammoth and war elephant. So for the mammoth, he gains attack dice for each wound he takes. And the war elephant, he gains an attack die when charging for each of the defender's remaining ranks. And so in principle for the Golden Company war elephant, meaning he will attack with 8 dice if it's an infantry unit. No defense dice.
Early in the game. Early in the game.
Early in the game. Maybe early in the game.
Yeah.
But I think nice package. Yeah. And for the war for the mammoth, there's only one small thingy which is maybe related to one of the older versions, that he has this effect. Let me say when he is failing a panic test. That he also causes D3 wounds to all adjacent units within 2 inch. So, but I think thematically this fits in. The mammoth is like,
that's what I was about to say. Definitely, thematically
I think
cool
changes.
Both.
I think cool changes. For free folk, to be honest, I'm not an expert. I don't know. We maybe have to rely to Mickey if this is playable.
We will.
Also maybe in a giant list. So yes,
we will.
And for the war elephant, I mean, there's only one drawback. You have to take a Golden Company officer, for example. I mean, for non-neutral factions, of course, because of the limit. The neutral point limit. But then I think for 8 points, interesting package. No defense rolls. We also will see this quite often. No, for 6 points. It's strong. It's really strong.
I think what's interesting is here, especially for the war elephant, if we think about Walder Frey, we'll come to that later, but that could be a really cool thing, because he can because then he can pivot, right? And so he will enable and give him 6 movement. So especially in the neutrals, that could be quite interesting. Like in the free folk, like basically without the pivot, but what Egrid is doing. So that's stuff that becomes really interesting. What makes your opponent really think, and will keep your opponent on their toes on what these animals will do at a certain point. Because they weren't really a problem in season 6. I mean, the war elephant wasn't bad, or not too bad. The war mammoth wasn't good, to be honest. It wasn't good. Now I see some play. But again, as you said, let's ask the real experts on the real free folk experts. But I like the change, especially the thematic aspect you just talked about.
Some love. Yes.
Okay, so let's move down south, or actually to the east, southeast, the Unsullied. So we were able to show the Swordmasters of last week, and I can just tell you the reaction of the team when I showed them the card, the Unsullied Swordmaster. Everyone was like, right? Everyone was like stepping and saying, what's happening? 3+, man. And actually the instant reaction right after like going back and checking again was like, all right, if this is a Swordmaster, what is with the pikeman then? What is with the pikeman then? So now we have it both. So they 7/7/4 on 3, a 3 defense. They keep set for charge. They keep shield wall. They gain unyielding, which is really fitting suitable. I never really liked the two mastery things they had before, because they were both on swords, if I remember correctly, and basically that happened, but it wasn't well, from my experience, when I seen my opponent play these things, they were not really thinking about that at all, because if it happened, it was good. If it didn't happen, also good, right? That's basically what it was. Now with Unyielding, this changes, at least for the pikemen. That's a big difference. For the Unsullied Swordmaster, Counterstrike is okay-ish, I would say. They're as strong as they are. If I think Unsullied Officer with Relentless, now it gets interesting. So now you can make them offensive and defensive. So if you go that route, you have a really, really strong unit, and we might see some more infantry Targaryen lists in the future. That's my take. And maybe last sentence on people seeing isolated, just checking the Unsullied. If you see all the other changes, Thornwatch, Giants, and we will come to Silencemen and Great Axes soon enough, that's probably needed. The 3 defense is probably needed. And so now, seeing the full patch, I'm fully, in balance with myself on stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing more to add. It fits. Yeah.
It fits. So let's go to the elite then. From this elite to another elite. And I will hand it over to you, Toby,
the elite
for
of the elite.
The elite of the elite. The elite. The Rainbow Guard and the King's Guard. So, tell me about the guard.
Kingsguard was Kingsguard was already teased.
Teased, yeah.
Teased.
Yeah.
And it's brought up quite some reactions in the Discord. And so I think the main change, one of the main changes is, of course, again, the number of wounds. So now every model counts as having 2 wounds in principle. So we go up from 8 wounds of these units to 16. Yeah. Super beefy unit, which is quite interesting. And then also they only can suffer up to a maximum of 2 wounds for failing panic tests. I think nice. This is nice. And their banners are refreshing. So you now have a possibility or a way to refresh your banners, and then of course the main difference between the 2 units are their abilities. So the Rainbow Guard stays with the Ready Cry, but the King's Guard, they now get Counter-Strike and Disrupt, and of course both units lost their resilience, but I think this is obvious. Otherwise, attack profile, the stats are the same. Also, the banners kept the same, but I think you now have a really, really tough unit to crack, especially now for the King's Guard with Counter-Strike and Disrupt, 3+ armor. They have self-healing. They hit like a truck, 7 on 2s with possible crit blow and sundering. I mean, this is overall a good package. Yes, of course. I think the only drawback is a little bit, especially for Lannisters with the King's Guard, you are pulling out a lot of good attachments out of your attachment pool.
Yep.
And this is one of the drawbacks, and you have to blade Joffrey. And now you can argue, is this now balanced?
Does this balance this out? Yeah. As you said, I think it's more of a thing for the, as you said, on the Lannister side as the Baratheon side, because the Baratheon side, they have a quite decent commander compared to Joffrey. He's quite a decent commander. Yes. They also do not have the same amount of, let's say, reliable or powerful attachments as the King's Guard is. So the Rainbow Guard is in general, I would say, a bit weaker as the King's Guard. Right? I mean, they have the purple with the Relic Cry, that's fine. They have the red with Crit Pro Precision and receiving a wound. But which could be good, but in general, it's not as good as like Jaime, Barristan, all those guys. It's not or Arizo card or whatever. So it's not as good as them. So this is the drawback. But yeah, maybe last one on it. In Baratheons, there will be tables where you see Rainbow Guard and the Thorn Watch. So they will be there. Right? There will be Renly. There will be no Brienne, Brienne then, at least. But you will definitely see it. I would say way more often on the Baratheon side than on the Lannister side, because I still feel the panic list, the defensive list on the Lannister side is still a thing, still in season 7. Not so much. I think for the Baratheons, it way more is changing. I feel.
Yeah. Unit wise, definitely we also will see some NCUs, and maybe one very important thing, because it's not shown here. Both units are 6 points. Yeah, and I just wanted to bring up this aspect. This also enables you in terms of list building a lot, in my opinion, because I mean it's here. I mean, 6 points for such a unit with in principle 8 wounds, 16 hits to kill it, and this is again, like, overall, I think a great package. Yeah, great package. And you will definitely see them.
And for what it's worth, right? Through the next season, there will be in summer, we will see probably attachments and cards and commanders or a mix of these, whatever, right? So there will be another layer of where we are heading with this game, and I'm really already excited about it. But what I like overall, what I really like, we see those units now. Because was there a time that you saw Kingsguard?
Cool units.
Exactly. Was there a time you saw a Rainbow Guard and especially this layer of Rainbow banners? Baratheon banners in the Rainbow Guard and the Kingsguard. This layer of this extra layer of game mechanic, I really like, and I really like that these things will be played now. So that's the thing I'm looking forward to.
Also thematically, lore-wise, super cool.
Also. All right, so let's move to the. We had the rock. Now we get the scissors, the war machines. So the war machines. Let's get the frozen short chariot out of the way, because I always hated to play against it, because I can't remember a season 3 or something where I was a lot of times like
the Mans Rider season. I think they were like in every Mans Rider free for quest.
You remember.
I remember that. I remember that.
So frozen short chariot, 4 points, which is not much for that amount of unit. They get their spear toss, right? So arranged 6 on 3, not bad. They still hit in with like 4 dice, go in hitting on 3, and +1 to hit for each of the defender's remaining ranks, right? +1 hit, not 2 hit, +1 hit. Yep. So if you go in, you could potentially do with rerolls, you do 7 dice, probably in the flank if you play it correctly. Man, for 4 points, and it's fast as hell.
Thundering and vicious.
It's
thundering and vicious.
Yeah, so I like it. I'm
jealous. I think it's a really cool unit.
Yeah, especially for 4 points. Okay, So we had this war machine. Let's go to the Night's Watch. The Night's Watch. So let's start with the Scorpion Crew, because the Scorpion Crew, there was also that last minute change. The Scorpion Crew has a point value of 5. Right? Not 4. Not 4. That being said, I feel this unit is fine for 5 points, especially in the light of what we already discussed with giants and certain calf with 2 armor. So you will probably, if you go to 2 list formats in tournaments, you will probably see Night's Watch players bringing at least 1 list focusing on scorpions, because they need it. Agree. Yeah. They will just need it, because they don't have great access to sundering, to all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, they have the Swarm Brothers, but that's basically it with keywords. So Night's Watch is basically relying on a lot of dice, right? And with a lot of dice, you won't change that someone has a 2 armor or a 3 armor. And so Scorpion. The Scorpion never shifts. That's important because so they cannot shift up or back. So this unit is basically a unit which you need to place well. So positioning is key with this one. And if it stays at the right point, because it also lost that it shoots everywhere. It used to shoot everywhere, and now it doesn't. So this arc we're talking about is pretty, well, not narrow, but it narrows down the possibilities that a Scorpion has. So positioning is key with this one. So it rolls +1 die for each of the defender's remaining ranks. So it will aim for Cav. It will, most of the time, it will also target monsters, right, and other war machines. That stays. So because for each unblocked hit, cavalry, monster, and war machine units suffer 2 wounds. And that's big. And but that's also the aspect I talked about with this rock, paper, scissors thing. It comes a little bit down to who's rolling better, who brought the specific list. It could end like that. So that's what I not really like. But what I also like is the point reduction on both war machines. So the Builder Stone Thrower and the Scorpion Crew, because now, and let's move quietly to the Stone Thrower with that one. When you used to build a Stone Thrower list, what you basically did, you just chose to play a Stone Thrower, and then you, if you liked it or not, right, or if your opponent liked it or not, but you chose to do it, and then you basically build a full list just around this one centerpiece, and this.
Protect
basically,
the Stone Thrower.
Exactly. And this basically ended up always with the same list, with Othel, or sometimes with Donald, but most of the time with Othel, Peter Baelish, Varys. Yeah. It basically ended always the same. Now, with the point reduction to 6 points, for me, I think I will try stuff like you build your normal things you do with the Night's Watch, and you can put it in now for 6 points and see what's happening. And why is it 6 points? Because it cannot it cannot shoot over the full battlefield now. You need 1 unit of scouting for you, and it basically does the same as before, because it can still get rid of a rank when rolling well, or when rolling decent. At least you will still hit a rank away with Vicious. So yeah, I think let's see where the Stone Thrower is at the mid of season 7 or end of season 7. From just what I've seen in the last years with these 8-point Builder Stone Thrower and stuff, this is way nicer for the game. This is way better for the game, and it needed the change because it was never fun. It was never fun for the player. It was never fun for the opponent. So I like it. Let's see where it lands. Yeah. Okay. So the next slide is something that involves both of Toby and myself, because it covers our mains. And excuse the title, but we needed to do it. So now we go to Laurel and Hardy a little bit. So I do the Night's Watch, you do the Sand Skirmishes, and let it all out, man. It's all yours. The stage is yours for the Sand Skirmishes.
Now, or you want to go first?
Now you can go. You can go. I will just, I will.
Okay. Yeah. So long anticipated, long anticipated, or also spoiled or announced in the podcast by Michael Chinal that there will be a change or modification of skirmishers, and as you all see, they lost scout openings. I think one of the key orders of the skirmishers, which allowed them to re-roll their range attack and spit out a lot of damage, including precision, onto units. And losing that means, of course, first of all, that here damage output is drastically decreased, and the whole, let's say, skirmisher focused playstyle of Martell's, avoiding melee fights, melee combat, is in principle now gone, because in addition they also hit now on a 4+ for range. yeah, which makes it even worse.
I feel your pain.
As I said, no, yeah, it was it is, yeah. So I think, as I said, the playstyle will change now. In return, and also armor goes to 5. Yeah, so we have here in total like 3, let's say, nerfs in this on stats, but also in terms of order. And as I said, playstyle will change. What they gained, on the other hand, which is interesting at least, so their melee attack profile now is on a 3+, which is interesting. Yeah, so apparently the designers try to bring them more into this melee fight combat style. They gained Skirmisher, which I think was kind of obvious. Yeah. But they also gained Pathfinder, and this is very interesting choice in my opinion. I still have to think about what to do with that. I mean, you can do something like for Night's Watch with the trackers, put some stakes on the table, and then move your skirmishers over there. And I mean, you have the skirmisher rule, so no charge bonuses, and somebody maybe has. I mean, nobody will charge if there are stakes, of course, but this can be one tactic, and I think time will tell if they find here the new style to play in the roster. For the moment, I don't see them, to be honest, in a Mattel list. But I have to try out some stuff.
Yeah, I mean. It's definitely a thing with what you just said behind stakes. I mean, you still can do your cunning ploy, but I know you're hitting on 4s, and I can relate. I will jump to the Ranger Hunters in a second, but so I totally get your point. It's still the cunning ploy potential is still there, but it might it will probably be used somewhere else now. I totally see that one.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why we
for Cuff.
Yeah. So that's why we put Laurel and Hardy in there. We're really undecided about these units. These are really cool units. There are 7 points. So they come in and they look cool. They're cool models, cool unit card, cool artwork. Everything is cool about them, but something is lacking. And I have to spoil that. And I just have to tell the community the story about the first time I got seven season, the potential 7th season patch. And I open it up and I scroll to Night's Watch at some point. I actually started with Lannister, but it was just the first one. So I came to Night's Watch and I was like, okay, let's see about Swarm Brothers, Ranger Hunters. That was the 2 units I was interested in along the War Machines. So, and I saw 3+3+, and I'm like, right? It was, I got my Ranger Hunters back, but then it wasn't true. So I got a new version because it was just a formatting error. So they're still on 4+, but they gained the Skirmisher, and that's why I say Laurel and Hardy ? The Ranger Hunters will be better now, most definitely, right? If you think John, if you think Hardened Ranger, if you think all these tools in terms of attachments, what you have, you can even maybe. Think in the old world you were able to do 8 activation lists with John. I will try. Skirmisher is a tool which is I don't want to say it's obviously good, but I feel like when you see it in play, you can do so much with it. So that's why I feel I will definitely go back to the old times of 8 activations with John, try it out, what they can do, and then let's see. Yeah. But still, the 4+ is still turns me down a little because
it's a downer.
Yeah, it's a downer because again, I have to go back to the changes we've seen. Right, you have to hit through 16 wounds. You have to hit through 3 armor. You have to, and that's hard. That's hard to do with Ranger Hunters.
And without rerolls, no chance.
Yeah, exactly. And they do not have rerolls.
I mean, attacks.
Except you save Donald for it, right? But or you play with what's his face, Samuel, and put out the vulnerable, but that's a high invest for hitting on 4s, and I know my rolls. So yeah, let's say Laura and Hardy ? And let's move on.
Yep.
So let's go to the overall theme. An overall theme of the patch was definitely damage output. We've seen that with the monsters already, but now let's go to units. So I think I will cover the top really quickly, and then you can take your you only save on 6. So basically, Houseguard Mountainsmen got better. They're not relying on this. You have more or less ranks, depending on who. They have a better attack profile. Same with the Bloody Mummer Zorse Riders. They have now also the rerolls in there, built in their tools, in their tool set. They have the rerolls as well now, and have 7, 6 on 3+ for the Boltons, I have to say. But that's just good. That's just straight up a good, fast calf unit. And I can't say more than that. I mean, the 7 morale is, can be, right? Your opponent might spam the crown, right? To basically nerf you right off the start. But that could be a thing. But apart from that, just great unit now. Yeah. So show me those two pretty similar units now. Silence Men and Great Axes.
Yeah, I think for the House Umber Great Axes, they gain or they change their attack profile. They now have 7 dice, and Prey on Fear is in principle also here now. And I think now with 7 dice and potentially crit blow from Greatshot or stuff like that, they are a threat because you only save on a 6. Yeah, you block you block hits from this attack. And as we saw before, we have no more armor, but also this theme of no defense rolls. I mean, this is a scary unit, to be honest. A super scary unit. We will see it, and I mean, they will do damage. And I think this is also the reason why I think in this patch, Stark is, they have a good time in this patch, in my opinion.
They will have a good time.
They will have a good time.
Definitely.
Silenced Man, did they need a buff? I don't know. They were pretty nice before. They had this double Sundering effect with 2 pillage, and now with 2 pillage, they in principle gain the same effect like the House Umber Great Axes. So you only block the hit with a roll of 6. So here I think now Greyjoy has a tool to shred through the armor pretty easily, and they have no tools against heavy armor units, and I think Silenced Men, I mean, they were on the table before, they will stay on the table, and also for this season, so I see
they were a little bit part. They were a little bit part because of the IWC.
Yeah, I know.
IVC, but it's
I think now also there are some good reasons to take. They're more than back, in my opinion. Yeah,
they're more than back. And what I see happening, and we will come to the neutral attachments. You all guys are waiting for it, I know. But I really see that happening. That you will play Silence Man with enhanced mobility, probably take Wall of Frey, do the 8 movement. I mean, what can happen, right? And on the great axis, if you think about the team that Starks bring in terms of attachments that you can put into Great Axis, I mean, let's talk about Roderick. Boldness and Courage in there. Let's talk about the Survivalist, right? Let's talk about Rickard Karstark even, or Bran and Hodor to bring a wolf, right? With the Vicious, you'll do an additional wound. So guaranteed panic test, probably a failed panic test, not guaranteed, but you know what I mean. So if you think about all these great attachments that you can put in both, and Stark have a good set, Greyjoys have a good set of attachments. So if you think about all that, and we will all cover that in the faction deep dives, that can become so brutal but also fun to see on the table, because I feel that gives potential to try out new attachments with these strong units to max them out. That's cool to see. Yeah. All right. So the other aspect is, I don't want to say spamming, but the pretty loose way of throwing crit blow everywhere. So I'm really thankful, again, really thankful for the crit blow on the Swarm Brothers. Did the Berserkers need it?
But not on the Berserkers.
I mean, no, I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay really neutral and objective here. I think the Swarm Brothers really needed something. For 7 points.
Buff, yeah.
So, and they have an even better now they have the 7 hard hitting profile now, 765, and I feel that's fair. But the crit blow on the Berserkers, hitting on 3s, 7, 8, 9 with crit blow. I don't know.
And I also don't know. I mean, they also hit like a truck. We will in a minute see that they
6
also
points.
can get pretty easily Sundering, for example, 6 points.
Easy. Yeah. Hollow Reapers, fine. I think it's fine place for them. Fair. Yeah, that's about it. So that's a common theme. We also see crit blow popping up here and there. But again, I always have to go back to that one point. When you see other changes, I still think that, and they tested it way more than we did. It's probably needed to hit through other units. And if you wouldn't have those keywords, it could have been hard to do. Another aspect of the patch we saw is 5 and 6 point units gaining 3+ to hit. So even Brazen Beasts got 3+ to hit. Pit Fighters, Faithful, Dervishes, right? So 3+ more dice. Yes, both, right? So that's also a theme we saw. What's the most interesting for you on these 4?
Yeah, I mean, okay, multiplayer Dervishes, I think that 3+ is nice. And also like the change to crit blow, so the unit does not has to be activated, non-activated. I think this is nice. But to be honest, especially now what you just said, against like the background that we have also some defense changes and stuff like that, with this attack profile, I'm uncertain if Dervishes, for example, can do something. Whereas if you look now to the Brazen Beasts and also the Pit Fighters, here again, there will be some easy ways to gain Sundering and stuff, and some other keywords. They generate tokens, for example. They have Sentinel to trigger more attacks for 5 and 6 points. No, both are 5 points, right? Also the Pit Fighters.
Yeah, true. Both 5.
This is crazy. This is totally crazy. I mean, really good damage output. I mean, they are glass cannons for sure, but really, really interesting. People will try them.
Definitely. And more on table, and that's important. Yeah. All right, so that's one, and now we go to the last 2 slides we will show you pretty quickly. Actually, is another theme where some units got reworked in a way they just work differently than like the Sand Skirmishers. So first up, we have actually they don't work differently, but they got something to be played more more aggressively or just different. So a good example is the Riders of High Garden. The Riders of High Garden got Swift Retreat, also hitting on 3s now, and
always,
not only on charging. And now with Our Sister Fury, you can go down to 2 instantly, even if engaged. And when they're hit back, they just Swift Retreat. And I mean, it's a 6 movement Lance Cav, which can retreat out of combat. That's good. That's just exciting.
Cool combo. Really cool combo.
It will be exciting to play these guys. That's one example. The other example is Frozen Shore Bear Riders. Frozen Shore Bear Riders, they lost the charging volley, which was from my taste, or from my point of view, never really. I don't want to say thematic, but because I know they threw the spears and all that, it's all good. But it never felt like these ice bears like being in combat and raging through. It's like it's been weird with the 4 movement and the charging volley. It's been weird. So now 5 movement with a marked target. And also with the synergy of after rolling attack dice, if the defender has any condition tokens, which you can put out yourself on them, this unit may re-roll any attack dice. So you can, right? You can mark target them, go in, re-rolls, whatever happens. 7 on 3, 16 wounds.
Thundering,
vicious. Yeah, so kind of different, reworked. So that's pretty cool. So what about the peasant levy? And don't forget the 5 points. That's important.
Yeah. So
5.
there is a change. There's a change. They
Last
are now
minute
5.
change.
They gain they gain Sentinel. I think Sentinel gain and move now to 5 points. It's still a very good unit for 5 points.
Still a good unit, yeah.
With all the abilities, with all the orders, and yeah, I mean, will they find play? Let's see. I'm really curious how the Brotherhood lists will change, because we have to keep remember like every Baratheon or Stark change is also something for the Brotherhood. Yeah,
Great Axes, Stormwatch.
And if Peasant Levy find here a place, let's see. Yeah, I'm really curious how this will evolve. But cool options for Brotherhood. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have enough points left when you think you put in your knights and you put in Great Axes, for example, or you put in the Thornwatch, let's see how many points you have left, right? So,
exactly.
So let's see if you really need the peasants or if you go for peasants then. Yeah, but yeah, totally get the point. So, kind of reworked. So lastly, we got the Lightbringers, the Honor Guard, the Frozen Shore Hunters, and the Black Tide Chosen. The Black Tide Chosen, to get them out of the way, we were both not really sure about the Black Tide Chosen. I mean, the main thing we see from what I see is you can play now, I don't know, 4 times Sentinel in a Greyjaw list. Okay, I take it. Right? You can basically, it's like a like domino, right? You can just a domino through your opponent. But so that's what I see.
Attack.
Yeah. And even if you don't charge, I mean, you have lots of movement now.
You can still move or maneuver.
Exactly. So that's one thing. On the other hand, the Castle Rock Honor Guard is a unit which isn't worse or isn't better in my opinion. It's just more flexible. It's a unit that is still valid for 7 points. They lost basically shutting down all abilities, which included orders. Now they got another one saying they still have the rerolls and the vicious and the sundering, but now they have to choose between the tactics cards or the friendly orders. And again, for me, it's just more flexible, because if you think of certain opponents like Martell, you're probably more afraid of, or most of the time more afraid of the tactics cards than other stuff. If you play other things like Baratheons or stuff like that, you're probably more afraid about the orders, right? So I don't know. I think good place, good change, more flexible. You have to think about it a bit more. Good one. I like it. So
still see play, always will see play. I mean,
yeah. So Lightbringers and Frozen Shore Hunters. What do you feel?
Oh, Lightbringers. I like the changes a lot. It really fits into. I mean, they're still vicious, but now if the defender fails a panic test, they suffer +1 wounds. So nice synergy here, increasing panic damage. Set-wise, everything stays the same. But now, this is funny. If they destroy a defender before the unit is removed, all enemies in long range become vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think this won't happen too often, but it's a nice
it's
small
situational,
thing.
Yeah,
Situational,
definitely.
but it's good to have.
Yeah.
But what is really cool now is that they can heal. So after completing this attack, you may target one friendly Relore unit, in long range, and they heal 2 wounds. So they do, in principle now, they increase panic damage, potential, small chance to also put out some tokens, but also the healing, and I think nice buffs. They were played before, will still be played. Nice changes, I like it.
Yep.
Also to provide some healing to Baratheons, some more healing, to Baratheons,
I mean, we will come to Mel in a second. And then we see the great synergy between Mel, the Red Woman, and both Lightbringer units. Not Lightbringer, both Brawler units. Basically, the theme of I take away guys and I give you something, and they both have the potential to heal back. I like the synergy. Yeah. The Hunters bring some movement, which you don't want.
The Hunters now have in principle very interesting new mechanics. So when after the attack, and if they caused wounds, they can in principle pull an opponent in their direction. So first of all, they shift back 2 inch, and then they can pull the opponent up to 2 inch in their direction. Just roughly summarized. Mm-hmm. And this now has some potential play like moving an opponent away from the token, for example, that he's not overlapping it completely, or moving an opponent into dangerous terrain, for example. However, there's still short range, nothing changed here. So maybe this is difficult to pull off, but it's a funny new kind of interaction, and let's see what Free Folk players can make out of it.
I'm sure the faction deep dive with Mickey will enlighten us. I'm really sure about it.
Exactly.
So because I was thinking the same, the movement shenanigans, but he will enlighten us. So that's basically for what we covered today on units. All the rest will be in the faction deep dives. So we will head over to the NCUs now. So we had elephants before with units. Now let's address
in the room.
Let's address the elephant in the room, Tivin and Balon. So let's start with Tivin. Yes. He moved down to 5 points. Now he's only on activation, not start of any. So when an enemy combat unit activates, you may target this particular unit, and this unit becomes panicked, weakened, vulnerable. And then the same unit does either 3 hits or 1 panic test. I think I'll put it really, just really 1-2 sentences. I don't think he will see play in Season 7. Not with all these changes. You could play him reactively now, right? Your Lance Cav goes in, does a lot of damage, and then this unit has to activate, and then you can pull him off. But again, if he had an influence or something that he can also bring to the table, then it would be a different story, probably. But that's it for me. He won't, I'm calling it, he won't see play in Season 7.
Yeah, for 5 points, this is too much for this kind of ability. I mean, this is maybe an okayish 4-point ability, in my opinion. But if you compare it to Kevin or other 5-pointers in the Lannister roster, I'm with you. No play. Play.
All right, so tell me about Balon. Also, like both NCUs were, because of elephants, both NCU changes were, in my opinion, highly needed, especially when you look at the level of play of beginners, new joiners to the game. These 2 NCUs brought a lot of times bad experience to new players, to not as experienced players, or right. So both needed a change. That was an obvious thing, and I think we're in a good place with Balon. But tell me about it.
Yeah, so he stays at 6 points, and now he's back, like in terms of replacing a zone. Yeah, so before it was like when activating Balon, instead of claiming a zone, you do blah blah blah. But now he has to claim a zone. Yeah, so this is a first change,
Yeah,
and this, of
that's big.
course, I think will bring up some new strategies also for the Greyjoy player. I mean, how he activates NCUs, when to pass and stuff like that. Because if the board is full, the NCU board, you cannot use Balon. Yeah, and then
True.
I think the other big change is like the kind of how you deploy the dead unit. This is now happening fully within long range of a friendly deployment edge. Yeah, and yeah, I think with these changes, with these two changes, it's clearly a nerf, or he's worse than before.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think we will still see him, yeah, especially now with the Silence Man changes. What you saw, I think Victarion is still by far one of the best commanders in the Greyjoy army, and I think he nicely synergizes with Balon. If something happens, unit comes back, and
yeah. Just imagine. I mean, still, even if it's a fully within long range of a friendly table edge, still imagine Victarion coming back in Silenced Man, or stuff like that. I mean, it's fair. It's still, you still bring back a fully healed unit in the end, and yeah, let's see. I'm really excited to see what Greyjoy players come up with. Will they still use him? Will they try other things? I'm not really sure about this, but in the end, for me, for the overall game, for the overall balance of the game, for the overall enjoyment, like how you can enjoy this game, both changes highly needed. Point taken. Like it, really good. All right, so let's go influenza. And a very important theme of the patch was that a lot more NCUs gained an influence. So we kick it off with Lannisters. So Cersei got really good now. I mean, she was good before because she could pull certain cards. With Tommen and Cersei, you were always able to draw the right cards into your hand, which suits the Lannister playstyle to win with tactics cards, to wear out your opponent. But now she gets an influence, and she's a little bit like the old or like Ariana now. So now, while influencing an enemy unit, this unit may not be targeted by friendly orders or tactics cards, and if she has crown or bags, she shuts down the attachment. This is obviously really strong for 4 points. No discussion about it. But what I have to say is, the Lannister player has a built-in tendency, or like he likes to claim bags and crown, but it also. And I talked with a lot of like some of the Lannister players in the team. They said she's really good, but especially in certain lists. She's not so in the defensive lists. She's good, but she's especially good in Gregor lists or stuff like that, where you can just shut down the full healing or defensive potential of a unit. And just Gregor goes in and just hits it as hard as he can. So especially in those lists, she's strong. She's not a like no-brainer for each and every list. That's what I just want to throw out there. So yeah, that's one big change where Cersei stepped a little bit into Tiven's place a little bit. So Pycelle, Toby, tell me about Pycelle.
Yeah, so here I think also one of the schemes or concept you will see often, again, influence mechanic here, but with tokens. Yeah, so you cannot do the influence every round like in the game, but only Pycelle has 3 tokens. Yeah, and if you want to trigger the influence effect, you have to spend a token. Yeah, and what Pycelle is doing while influencing an enemy unit. That unit is treated as having -1 rank when performing attacks. Yeah, attacks, melee, and range. Yeah, important.
Yeah.
And when Pycelle influences an enemy unit, you may remove one order token from him. If you do, that enemy becomes weakened. Yeah, so the weakened part only can be done 3 times. Yeah, the part while influencing an enemy unit treated as having -1 rank can of course be done more times. Yeah, because this is not bond to the token. Yeah. I think now for Lannister, because they have now quite some number of influence NCUs, the question will be which one you will take. And you won't take 3 influence NCUs.
No.
And if you have decides between Cersei and Pycelle, I would say you will take Cersei.
Will be Cersei, yeah, I think so as well. So our next team of influencers is Styr, Marjorie, and Robb Stark. I put those 3 together because they both have some kind of like interaction between, like you can attach to, or they do something with friendly and enemy units, or in Styr's case, he does something to infantry and cav and monsters.
Yep.
So on the monsters again, he enables rerolls for the monsters. The rerolls on the charge distance, and if successfully charging, weakened. So that's good. So now he does both. Right when you were thinking on Giants list back in the day, there was always like Vel, Ygritte, Mance, maybe stuff like that. Maybe sometimes Dala, but mostly those 2. And now Styr is an option, and I like that. So Robb Stark, on the other hand, he is on 5 points now and can influence friendly units and enemy units, basically doing increasing attack on friendly and decreasing attack potential on enemies. Marjorie, on the other hand, engages or influences only friendly units, but if this unit is engaged and you heal back, you can deal out up to 3 hits. Up to 3 hits when you heal as much, or more than 3 wounds, you just deal out hits. I don't know about Marjorie, to be honest. I like the 1 wound better, but I don't know. But back to Robb. For 5 points, being able to bring Grey Wind, and this influence, these influences, I think Robb Stark is probably in most Stark lists we will see in season 7.
A really good,
a good amount of season 7 lists, Robb will be in there, which is cool. I mean, if he's not taken as a commander, but yeah, he will see play. I think he's really, really strong for the Starks now, and is again fueling all these 6 point, the Great Axes, the Berserkers, all of that. They all get better, right? So he will be out there.
I think Arya is the obvious choice for the infantry heavy lists, right?
Always.
And then
Arya always. Yeah. All right. So something that each and everyone is interested in. Neutrals. We see 3 neutral changes. So, tell me about Walder. How do you feel about Walder and the overall game in a world of Walder Frey?
So Walder was again changed completely.
Yeah.
Like almost every season now. From ground up, but I think now thematically, game-wise, game design-wise, very interesting. Because 5 points influence. He can influence enemy units, but also friendly units. If he influences a friendly unit, this unit gains +1 movement and can pivot before the start of his activation. Its activation. Yeah. For an enemy unit, -1 movement, and they may not pivot at the end of a maneuver or march. Yeah, which can be crucial in my opinion.
Yeah.
So he offers you now, I think, some very interesting strategies, like against Baratheon, to make certain units even slower, right?
Mm.
Or even very, very mobile units. I think like do not be able to pivot after a maneuver or march, I think this can have quite an impact in certain scenarios. So overall, really interesting, and I think he will find here and there some play.
I especially feel he will will have a place in Greyjoy. He will have a place in
to boost movement, of course,
in factions that are used to have 5.6 point NCUs. I think those factions will especially make use of him. I feel I'm not sure if Starks really need it. Probably not. But yeah, especially Greyjoy. Not so much Tarks and stuff. But as you say, it's really interesting. The last thing I want to say about Walder is it's a 5-point NCU, and a lot of factions, they would then need to invest in 2 5-point units. Let's take Renly, for example.
Probably.
Renly side, they will go for Olenna still.
Olenna.
And if Olenna and Walder Frey, that will change what you have on the battlefield. It definitely will. So I'm just saying he's good, and he can change your army completely, but it's a high invest on the tactics board, and just saying that. So I feel he's not a problem for the game. He's not something that needs like quick addressing or anything. I am interested in what he does, especially in Greyjoy. So yeah, on Lord Varys we can probably skip over there. He's the old Varys now, but for 5 points again. So 4 tokens now does the same thing for 5 points. Same sentence I just said. Varys is good in each and everything. He's the all-rounder of the game. But for 5 points, it's an invest. You really have to think about. Yeah. For 4 points, the last one was always, if you don't know, it's like the word in the middle. If you don't know, take Varys. If you have 4 points left for an NCU and you have no clue, take Varys. Right? So on Jaqen, name them 3. Choosing a name. Jaqen is totally different now. He used to do either precision on a friendly unit, or he chose an influence from an enemy unit, or friendly. Some influence on the game board, on the game table, which was really cool. And Jaqen is one of my probably my most favorite NCU, because not what he does specifically, but if you play a certain list over and over and over again, practice it, and you get bored out of it, just put Jaqen in. Pull a 4-pound out, pull Jaqen in, your game will change completely. Because you will just think about another layer of game and of this game, because there probably are NCUs that you want to copy, and I like that. But now the new Jaqen copies an NCU completely, each and everything, right? But he needs to spend tokens. So he can do it 3 times, which is thematically really awesome. Thanks, cmon. So 3 tokens, you spend 3 times. He copies the abilities of an NCU completely. And if the NCU you copy uses tokens, like Eddard, for example, yep. You have to use his tokens, so Jaqen. So potentially, so that can be strong, but you still have to like invest into this to make it happen. So, and since it's only 3 times, that won't be a problem. He will probably most of the time go for something where he does not need to use his own tokens, his own coins. But I like it. I really like it, and it will add a new layer into the game, which I really, really appreciate. That being said, let's quickly hover over quality of life changes. And these quality of life changes, and we can really go quickly over those, these ones, because, and you can tell me about all 4, are just token increase or point changes. So you go.
Yeah, Crescent, super easy. He moves from 5 to 4 points.
No
straightforward. No brainer. Crescent will be played, was played. I think nice change. Yeah, nothing more to add. Eddard, I mean, we didn't saw Tadikaf in the units, but Tadikaf also got changed. Eddard is here, also changed. Less token, less healing. Yeah, and this is a direct nerf for the double Tully calf Rob list, which was so oppressive last season. So since Tully calf has changed, and also added double nerf, in my opinion, not so efficient anymore.
Yeah.
And there will be a shift. Yeah. So I think this is good.
No.
And then for Roderick and especially Davos, we just have more tokens. Yeah, so they can do more stuff, which is nice. And yeah, I think overall quality of life changes or quality of life nerfs in terms of added.
Whatever,
yeah, whatever. And yeah, I think there will be some play of these NCUs and overall good change.
Yeah.
So,
especially Crescent. I mean, Crescent, when you play Stannis, there won't be... I can't imagine a Stannis list without Crescent. Sorry, I just have to say that.
Yeah.
But that being said, next one. Eric Ironmaker, Catelyn Stark, Roose Bolton, Walder Frey. Basically the same. So Eric Ironmaker just comes with one pillage. He just deals out a pillage. Catelyn Stark gets vicious entry rolls now. So the vicious is in addition. Roose deals out 2 tokens now and does more hits, which is fine in my opinion for 5 points, and he's like really good NCU for the Boltons, highly effective. You can really rely on him doing his job on the tactics board, which is good for 5 points. Walder Frey, or Fat Walder, she just lost a little bit of healing potential, but only on the once per game, and it's only like 1 wound plus the game round. It doesn't really matter, so we can go over that. She will still see play. She's still good. So yeah, that's fine. Good change. So, but there are, to end it off, there are some units that are forged anew, and then we will end with a breakout session on some NCUs. So we have the Targaryens, and we will cover this in way more detail in the faction overview. But what I want to say here is that Miri got an interesting mechanic, while I feel she's not really strong anymore compared to all the other stuff going on. So Illyrio and Hizdahr and some others are now just straight better. I think Miri lost, throughout weekend, throughout panic, but she gained a token, take a token and put a token back, like from friendly to enemy. So she can do that. But in my point of view, she probably needs to start off with a token of choice.
Yeah, it's too slow. It's too slow.
That's too slow because,
in my opinion,
you could, if you're lucky, you do it 3 times. So, and that's a token, right? Remove a token, put out a token. There are NCUs in the game for 4 points that just remove a token each and every time they go on the battlefield. So, yeah, I don't know. Hizdahr, for example, or on the other hand, he got, in my point of view, way better because he lost this draw 1 tactics card less and all that kind of stuff. So he's now straight up good because he resolves a zone and gets an additional effect. Illyrio, on the other hand, is also one of our influences, and he got totally reworked. He still has a wound healing potential, but also you can put a Sundering and highest attack die value on combat units.
Remember the pit fighters.
Pit fighters. The calf. He will do things. I mean, obviously he needs to spend his tokens, 3 tokens. He needs to spend it. But it's also always in addition to a tactics board effect. So I think he's good. I think he's good. Not the best one in the roster, but he's good. But this one will be addressed in way more detail in the faction deep dives. Let's hover over to, which is really interesting, both on the Renly and the Stannis side. So tell me about Mel.
Yeah, also here, complete change. So we move away from this taking wounds,
dealing panic damage
mechanic. Panic bombs in the past, and now a unit can still suffer wounds, but therefore these units gain an effect. So they gain +2 morale, for example. Melee attacks gain vicious. when this unit performs a melee attack before rolling attack dice, target the defender, it becomes vulnerable. So we can spit out a vulnerable. And the last effect, when this unit activates, target any enemy in short range, they become all panicked. Yeah,
Yep.
so kind of weak mechanic here. It's again an influence, mechanic here, and I would say a really nice, flexible tool for 5 points.
Yeah.
Also nicely synergizes again with the Lightbringers because they also heal now.
Yeah.
So I can take out wounds, I can heal back
And
when
the
they
faithful.
attack.
Yeah.
And the faithful, exactly.
Both,
and I think nice. I mean, nice stuff. You can also combine effects.
Especially when you think
nice
like the +2 morale is really good. I mean, imagine Stag Knights, Queensmen, all that kind of stuff.
Champions of the Stag.
Man. Yes. So stuff like that. Yeah. So Eldon, on the Renly side, it doesn't seem like much when you read it at first. So it's just once per game. When Eldon claims a zone, you may search your tactics deck for any one card and place it in your hand. Then shuffle your tactics deck. So as soon as he claims a zone, I think that's big for Eldon Estamont. Because Eldon Estamont, I mean, he's good. He's a good NCU. And he has always been a good NCU, but was overshadowed by others. And I think this one sentence, all the rest stayed the same, by the way. But this one sentence really makes a difference in my point of view. Just imagine a Courtney Penrose commander list. Issue commands. Counterplot. Right? So just imagine those Renly 1. So if you need a certain card, even if it's Final Strike, right? You will be able to pull it in time. Guaranteed. And that's big. That's big for the Renly side. That's big for Eldon Estamont. So I will definitely use him. I will definitely try him out. Guaranteed. All right. So the last one is for you, or the second to last one is for you. Now you can let it all out again.
Again. Yeah, the Mattel changes are quite interesting this patch, this patch season, I have to say. So here, what we are seeing are the 3 changes for the Mattel NCUs. In principle, complete redesigns. Little bit, Ariane kept some of her character, but maybe starting with her, so she kept the influence. She moved to 4 points, and what she now can do, she has 2 influence effects like before, but those changed compared to her previous version. So she still can turn off attachments of a unit. And the second effect is in principle very similar to Dune Tactics. So she can influence an enemy unit, -1 rank. And if Ariane controls Water Gardens or Crown, instead using lowest attack die value. Short summary, I would say it's a nerf in my opinion, and also this -1 rank, and we have Mattel Dune Tactics. I don't see it, so I don't see it at the moment. So I don't know. And also like with Water Gardens, the synergy with Water Gardens, now coming to Doran. So Doran, Prince of Dawn. It's the only NCU who brings the Water Gardens. He completely is changed now. So now he has a kind of effect where you can choose specific abilities or effects depending on the game round. So for example, game round 1, you can remove a token. Game round 2, you can remove a token, or you can heal 2 wounds to a unit, and so on and so forth. And so, he now costs 5 points. And to be honest, I mean, I like very much the old Doran version much more, was much more flexible. Now, I don't know. I'm quite unsure if he finds play, and I can think of some scenarios, but I think it's definitely a nerf in the sense to the old Doran.
Yeah.
But there is not only shadow. There
There
is
is
some light, and
Nymeria.
I think
Yeah.
there's Nymeria.
Yeah.
So she also got now completely changed, and she has a kind of escalation mechanic. So depending on the number of claimed zones or controlled zones on the tactic boards, the influenced unit gets bony. Yeah, starting from vicious, crit blow, attack, and reroll attack dice, and gain +2 attack dice if 5 zones are claimed or controlled. And one important change here is the wording combat unit. Yeah, so before she was only able to influence infantry units, and now we can also influence cav units. Yeah, this is nice. And I think, so she helps to increase damage output for much of the Mattel units. She will find play, and I think this is will be one of our foundation pillars for some of the Mattel lists, in my opinion, Nymeria.
Yeah, and I bet you will cover that with Alex in way more detail. So now, last slide for today.
Yes.
We have a Night's Watch breakout session, and not too long on this one. We will all cover this in the Night's Watch faction deep dive. But what I appreciate is that the designers address the you lose all tactics cards things. So Jeor Mormon, for example, he at the start of any turn you may take one tactics card that can be attached to a unit from your discard pile and attach it back. That's good because especially it's changed to at the start of any turn. So you can really, right? I need shields now. I need whatever now. Watcher on the wall. Whatever I need, I can just take and pull back. Bowen, on the other hand, each time a Night's Watch unit is destroyed, you may take one of his cards, of this unit's cards, and attach it somewhere else. So that's really good. Veterans of the Watch got the life and honor to the watch. Life and honor to the watch just means if this unit fails a panic test, you do not remove all the vows, but just one. So the designers addressed the issue that Night's Watch players are really, honestly hate since the change to buff your units and lose it right after a lot of times. Or sometimes you just, you put it out. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Well, so it is addressed. The only thing I have to say, it's pretty good on the veterans, but one sentence on the NCUs. They are good, but I think they are overshadowed by regular stuff like Donald, Othel, Aemon, Dennis.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I mean, I have to test it out. I have to try it out. I have to play it way more often to judge that. But that's my gut feeling right now. It will probably still be overshadowed by the more, I don't want to say reliable, because this is highly reliable, because it just happens, right? It has no condition. It has no situation. It just happens. But I think the other ones are more important for the Night's Watch army. And that's what I want to say. But again, bottom line, I appreciate that it is addressed. I appreciate that it is seen and addressed and that we are heard. I like that. So that basically ends our season 7 overview. Great to have all of you guys. I bet you're reading quite along in your PDFs, right? Checking, scrolling, or you print it out, whatever you do. I just want to say I'm really, really happy to see this happening, to see season 7 hit us all, to see all the great discussions we see on the Discord and what it does to the game. I really appreciate cmon sharing this with us early. I really appreciate cmon sharing the teaser cards with all the content creators and all that. I really, really appreciate the effort and the time. So I think there's nothing more to say. Put your minis on the table, try out season 7, and until we meet again in all the faction deep dives, roll those crits, guys.
Come for the hits and stay for the crits.